Hi guys, it's Todd back again. Uh, Todd 35. Let's dive into it. Before I do, this will be graphic of nature. Some viewers will be triggered by it. I apologize, but as I've said and stated, this isn't about you. This is about my journey and what I've been through. But if it does trigger you, I apologize. But as I said, it's about me. So it's about my mental health journey. Previous video discussed how the cycle repeats itself. So my mental health journey began before I was even born. And you look back, listen to that tape, you kind of dive into the basic understandings of the ins and outs of my mother and father and that journey. But so we are now going to hit when I was born. I was born on the 19th of January. Yeah, 1988. I was born, I don't think preemie, I don't think overdue. I was just born with jaundice. That was only the real, that was just basic, nothing hectic for me being born. But being brought into a household where drugs and alcohol were prevalent. Dad was a rebel, always in trouble, motorcyclist, motorcycle gangs, loved his samurai swords, always getting pulled in by the police. Very abusive relationship between him and my mother, very physical, and very mental abuse. So, to get into this, 6 days old, from what I was told, my parents had no money. They needed to buy formula for me. I don't think mum was able to breastfeed me at that time, but my dad robbed a convenience store to get baby formula to feed me. So, Dad was joyous to have a boy. Even though he classed my brother, who was 5 years older than me, so he's 5 at the time when I was born. But now he had a blood son, as well as an introduced son. He's taken on his own. Yes, that was pretty rocky 6 days by the sounds of it. We're kind of gonna fast forward to when I was 3. And this is my very first memory of this quite prevalent memory that I just remember as clear as day. So I can't tell whether it was morning, afternoon, or evening, but I'll kind of describe where the home was. So you walk through the front door to the side here. Next to the front door near the hallway that leads up to the bedrooms is a balcony door that overlooked the driveway and the cul-de-sac. And then as we move into the middle, you've got the lounge room like where I'm sitting now. In the middle you've got a walk-in laundry space, so you've got 2 closing rolling doors and one in the centre here. The one in the centre was open. Obviously the door situation here, wasn't sure of, whatever. And then as we have off to the laundry, we had the kitchen, and then right next to the lounge room was kind of like the dining room and the back door sort of to the backyard. So I was 3, playing Lego on the table, and my parents' fighting became that abusive. My dad kept hitting and striking my mother, because my mum would manipulate and taunt my father. So it was a tit for tat situation, drugs, alcohol, amplified it even more. But the argument quickly escalated to my dad throwing my mother through the sliding door. Now I know that was closed because you'd see part of the door fracture away, so he's thrown her through it. Then he's proceeded into the laundry, picked her up, they've come through the other sliding door out to the balcony, and he's thrown her off the first story balcony onto the driveway. That a lot of this stuff it's easier for me to say it because there's so much detachment to it. It's just the way I grew up, being detached from those sorts of situations, and that's the diagnosis. That's what it does. Because there are other childhood memories, but I'm just going through like the trauma stuff that I've gone through. I would never feel love from my parents. I didn't know what it was. So, with my father being so abusive, when my father wasn't around, my mother would blatantly tell me she hates me, she hates the way I look because I look like my father. Just kind of just too much hurt she got from looking at me. In no way, shape or form should a child actually have to endure that. But yeah, it is what it is. And that happened throughout most of my life. Okay, well, we'll end that one there. That was my first real trauma.